We're talking about achieving consistency today. Oh, what fun. Hey, Lakeisha, did you get your offer accepted?
Still waiting.
Still
I just
waiting.
reached out right before class, so
Okay. Cross my fingers for you. It's exciting. Exciting. Okay, so when you start the day, how do you achieve consistency in a day? Okay, so the first thing, well, there's lots of things, but if you don't know where to start, then the first thing you need to ask yourself to be able to make progress in a day is, who can I help today? If you're stuck, that's like basics. If you don't have anything to do, there's nothing on your schedule, right? You got nothing, and you're like, gosh, what do I do today? And you don't know how to come up with something. That would be it. Who can I help today? Okay, so then if you're going to reach out to your for sale by owners or past clients or expired or however you're going to start marketing, then you go in with that attitude of service of, how can I help you? What can I do? And that really changes. I feel like it changes our outlook, and it also helps our self-confidence. Because if we're going in and we feel uncomfortable, unsure of ourselves, right, then we have a really hard time serving to the best of our ability. So what can I do to help someone today? How can I help today? And you know what? Sometimes if you can't find clients to serve, find somewhere to volunteer, because you go meet people when you volunteer, right? So who can you help today? How can you help today? Okay. So within that consistency, I've talked before about having your Sunday planning session. So on Sunday, sit down and go through in your planner and write down all the things that your family has for the week, fill in all the things that you have for the week with work. And then you can start to add on top of that. That will also help you. If you consistently do that on every Sunday before the week even starts, before you get out of the gate, that really will help you have consistency in your schedule and also not feel like you're being just tossed around all over the place. It gives you a little bit more control. We do not have, is one thing I struggled with for a very long time, was how on earth do I control a schedule that I can't control? Right? We try to, I might be like a little bit of a control type of person, right? I like to have my stuff laid out for me, but if we don't know, like if we get a phone call and we have to jump and run because somebody wants us now, it's hard to feel in control of our schedule if you're doing that all the time. So at least you will have some sort of consistency for the baseline of your schedule. And then you're going to have those oddities of things that pop in, but you can more easily handle them once you have your baseline ironed out. Okay. So within that, so let's go layer number 3 now. So within that layer, if you are having a hard time daily being consistent and making progress, that's what we're going to talk about now. Okay. So the first thing that you want to do, if you're feeling like this, even if you're not, this is a very good practice to have at least once a month. If you're not making a whole lot of progress, more often. Okay. Weekly is a good way to do this too. First, you're going to have a time audit. Okay. During your time audit, you are going to see where you're spending your time. You need to identify the noise and remove the noise. So noise can be, well, our most common noise is our social media, or sometimes we don't know, we can't pay attention while we're in it, that we're kind of wasting time fiddling around on little bits of things, but never accomplishing a thing, right? Never accomplishing one thing. So we mess with this a little bit, we mess with this a little bit, mess with this a little bit. It's like the soccer balls. You got 10 of them, you kick every single one of them just a little bit, but you're never kicking one all the way to the goal. You got to have that win of getting it kicked all the way to the goal. So time audit yourself to see how you're spending your time and what you're spending it on. And sometimes, like, oh man, sometimes we sit down and we watch too many episodes, right? And that, whether it's at night and we're tired in the morning, guilty as charged, somebody turned me on to Suits. I am so screwed because now we're on like season 7. like plowing through them. Not good, not good. So how much time are we spending, and what are the activities that we're spending them on? And then remove the noise, okay? Okay, the next thing is we're gonna shine a light on the number one thing. So double down on the one thing that you're good at. That one thing that will help give you freedom. Double down on that. What is the one thing that you can get done? Or the one thing that you're absolutely great at, maybe when it comes to, sorry, I squirreled, I laughed. Jackie, love suits, wish it didn't end. I know, I had to throw it up on VidAngel though, because after a while, the language was a little bit much for me for some of the seasons, but it's like so interesting. Anyway, sorry, squirreled me. Anyway, so one thing, if you wake up in the morning, you're like, if I'm gonna do one thing today, I'm gonna accomplish one thing. What is that one thing I can accomplish today? What's that easy win? Because you know what? You get that easy win, you kick that ball all the way to the goal, then you're like, oh, I accomplished that one. Now what's my next one thing? And then you can build upon that. Okay? Become relentless. You gotta want it, guys. Being an independent contractor is not the easiest thing in the world. And some people do, it can be hard. Well, not just some people, I think we all have times, I will say, I think we all have times when it is harder for us. Harder to get up and want to. Because nobody's making us, we're not gonna get fired. We won't make money if we don't get up and work, but we're not gonna get fired. We don't have that hanging over our heads. So being independent as we are, we have got to find the way to be relentless at what it is that we're choosing to do each day. And make that our goal. We have to get it done. Have to. Give yourself a high standard for getting it done. If you need motivation, sometimes I'll wake up, like, honestly, to get my butt moving sometimes, I gotta throw on some loud music. Because it's real hard to like sit there. If you got some like, oh, we had MMMBop going today. That was a good one, right? What is that, 1990s? You gotta have something to like get you up and going sometimes. So whatever it is that works for you, find that thing, identify it, and when you're not moving, put that into play. Okay? Jump around, turn on the music, whatever it is. Make the decision. You have got to get out of the thinking loop. We think about it, we think about it, we think about it, but we don't take action. We think this is a great idea, we come up with the great ideas, or we come up with our list of things that we're going to do for the day, but we don't take action. We have got to take action. It's like throwing you out in the water. I'm going to give you a rowboat. But if you do, oh, what is this? Stop overthinking things and just do. Good job. You got that sitting on your, Lexus has that sitting on your monitor. Perfect. Perfect. It is. You got to stop thinking about it. You know, when we think about things for so long, or just in general, right? And we have them rolling around in our heads all the time. It is taking up energy and space and brain power to think about them so much. And then you add the guilt on top of that because we're thinking about it, we planned on doing it, we didn't do it. So now we move on to the next day. We think about it, we plan on doing it, we didn't do it. You start to feel like a failure after a while, and it's not because you can't, it's because you didn't choose to. You have to choose to take the action. Have to choose to take the action. Just dinged me. That's it. Sounds like so simple or what? It's the fastest lesson we've ever had, but it's so simple. And we are all there. So nobody needs to feel bad that you hit that spot, that you find yourself in that place, because we all find ourselves in that place. We just have to find ourselves in the place, recognize that we're in the place, and then take the action, right? Go through the steps and get yourself out of it. I was actually talking to, so we had a little craziness the last couple days, but I was talking to my niece. Did I say this? This is recorded, but whatever, it's private. Who's got a drug problem. I've mentioned it before. And we had a real candid conversation. I don't know very much about drugs, you guys. I gotta tell you, I just don't touch anything, because if I don't ever touch it, I don't ever have to worry about going too far, right? So that's always the stance I've taken, is if I just don't, then I don't have to deal with the coming back from it or doing too much or anything like that. So I'm trying to understand like where she's coming from. And in talking to her yesterday, I had said, well, number one, I mean, I can help her, but she has to want to help herself. I can't help you if you don't want to help yourself. But number two, I said, she kind of was telling me a little bit about, how her life has been. And she's in a loop. She's in not just a thinking loop, she's in a drug loop, but she's in a loop. And she always comes back to that, well, I'm not really happy. I want my life to be better, but, she doesn't really know where to go with that. That's what she wants. But then she gets to the point where she does drugs again, and then it throws her right back, and then she loses her job. And then she has no job again. And then she's got to climb her way back up, and then she has to find another job. And then she has the job and she's doing good for a minute. And then she does the drugs again and loses the job. And she's just going through this cycle over and over. I said, when you're tired of the cycle, call me. Like, we'll go to rehab, we'll help you, right? But you have to identify it. And I'm hoping, God willing, that she could hear that a little bit, that she can you have to self-discover. Sometimes I could tell you this all day long, you guys. I could talk to you all day long and tell you all this stuff. But if you don't put anything into practice, if you don't stop and look at yourself and self-discover where you're at or what you need to do, you can't make progress. You aren't implementing anything. I might as well be just singing a song. Because you have to discover your habits and what you need, how you work, what your challenges are, all individually. So I can give you the tools, but you have to be able to look at yourself and recognize. And I will say, I can look at myself and recognize that when I'm not productive, why I'm not productive, or why I didn't want to get out of bed last year, or what it was that stopped me. Or even what it is that stops me if I'm not taking the action. Why am I not taking the action? Do a little bit of self-reflection and thought to figure out, why is it? And that's what makes us better. That's how we grow. So there's nothing shameful or awful about going, gosh, I'm not good at this thing. Or gosh, my habit here really is not great. I need to step up and do something different. Let me learn what to do differently. Let me find the information. Let me look at someone else that's doing it better than I am. And instead of judging myself and putting myself down because I'm not as good as that person, I need to look at myself, look at them. Okay, they're doing this right. Why are they doing it right? What is it that they're doing? And can I mirror that? What can I learn from that person? Where a lot of times we look at people and we're like, oh, but I'm not that good. They're better than me. Right? And it comes, as much as you like social media, because I can find all of you guys, and that's a huge blessing. It is so rough to sit and look, and even myself, I'll look and I'll be like, oh my gosh, look at this coach that teaches this and this coach that teaches that. And then all of a sudden we start to make ourselves smaller and smaller, and then we get kind of paralyzed. We're like, well, geez, like they're all doing it this well and I'm not. And then we get stuck in that fear. And we have to break out of it. Change the mindset to where, okay, they're doing it well. What is it that they're doing well? And is it something I want to implement? And if it's not, and that's not me, then, move on. There's not something I want to learn from that. But that self-reflection and if you struggle with it, self-reflect every day. How did my day go? What did I do? What did I spend my time on? Did I make the progress I wanted to? If I didn't, what am I going to do tomorrow? And then make a plan. Make a plan, write it down, hold yourself accountable. That's how we make progress. And everyone is capable. Everyone is capable. You just have to choose to. You just have to choose to. Cynthia said, we can't compare ourselves to others. We can't. And it's really funny. I was, teaching you guys, right? Talk about outside the box, you guys. Like, talk about a leap of faith and just crazy talk. I feel like sometimes I seriously sit at least once a week and I go, what the heck am I doing? No joke. What the heck am I doing? Right? Am I making a difference? I could have just kept selling houses, which I'm still selling houses, but still, I have got myself in so deep. What am I doing? We all have that moment, right? Where we're like, oh my gosh, I quit my job and I'm trying to sell houses. What am I doing? Why? And then you have to come back to, why am I choosing to do this? Why did I choose? And I'm not kidding you guys, weekly. And I was in a training one day and we did a breakout session. I was talking to these two guys from different countries and crazy successful people. And I opened up and I said, I start looking at all these people, the social media, the trainers on social media, and they're out there and they got all this stuff. And I'm not like that. I can't be superficial. I can't do that. I'm not flashy like that. I'm I am just let's get down and teach you how to make money, right? We need to make money. People need to make money. They struggle. Let's do this thing, but not with all the fluffy stuff. And you know what they said? Be you. That's who you are. You don't have to be who they are. You be you, and you will attract the people that are like you or that need you. And that was the best thing I have ever, from two random strangers, right? Man, that hit home. That was a few months ago. That hit home to me. Totally. Because it's tough. It's tough. Okay, sorry. It's not even PMS week, you guys. Okay, hold on. What did we say? Oh, we all struggle with it. We all do. But you guys can do this. You seriously can. It really just takes every single day doing it over and over and over and over. And the really fun part is when you have that break and it breaks loose and it starts to become more frequent without so much struggle. But you will struggle for a good period of time, couple years, 2 to 3 years of consistency. You still will struggle. And the only other thing I could say for you guys, is I have all the trainings out there. But again, if you don't listen and implement, if you just listen and watch, but you don't implement, it's not going to help you. It won't. I put up a post yesterday about that listing. So I think I talked about the listing in my Elevate in the mastermind group. I think that's where it was. Sorry, hold on. So I talked about that listing in the mastermind group. 6 months that listing had been on the market. 4 showings. They're a $900,000 listing. And they got referred to me to come fix their problem. And I did the walkthrough. I should have recorded it. I walked through their house, told him essentially what furniture needed to go. He had too much stuff, made the rooms look small, did the audit on his house, essentially, audited his house, told him what they needed to do, didn't change the price. The price was fine. It wasn't the price. Got my photographer out there, right? Better description, redid it all. And I can put this up even maybe next week as a side-by-side comparison I might show the difference between the two of them and what changes I'd made as an example. I don't know if that would be helpful or not. Anyway, and no joke. So we've been 2 weeks, we had no showings, and I'm like, okay, well, that's how it's been rolling. So I'm not panicking yet. We had 2 showings yesterday and an offer coming today. Like, best thing ever, right? 6 months, 4 showings. We've already had 2 showings in a couple weeks. So I can put that up. That's what we'll do for next Friday, is we'll do a before and after. I'll do the side by sides on that one, because there's a lot of importance there, a lot of importance, and it's simple stuff, you guys. That's the thing. It's simple. And if I try to tell you, like, find a good photographer, pay attention to, like, the description class that I did, right? The photo order class that I did. Simple tricks that work every time. So implement those things. If you do anything, implement those things on your listings, because it's so important. I had one of my agents, her mom just passed away 2 days ago. So my personal agent, so she called me and she's like, I need help. She had a listing to put up and they wanted to do a purchase. I said, yeah, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it, right? So I'm taking care of her client. She had sent her photographer out. I got the photos back. Oh, you guys should go look. If you hit Zillow and go look at my listings, it's on Prince Avenue. Go look at it. It's not good. It is not. I about was hyperventilating when I got those photos back. The dog kennel's in the picture. There's crap on the counters. There's a fly swatter hanging on the kitchen cabinets. I mean, there's stuff. There's like a purse. There's crap on the bed. I was like, oh no, this is not gonna work, right? This is not gonna work. So I'm paying emergency, call my photographer. We have got a redo. We have got to redo this. Going out, and I told the client, this is not going to work. We have 2 weeks to get her house under contract. 2 weeks, because we got her offer accepted. That is not very long. We cannot put that presentation out there like that, like at all. So I'm sending out for new photos and moving lots of stuff. Her ottoman was in the way. It's gigantic. So you see this huge ottoman. Go look at it. Prince Avenue. If you look me up on my on Zillow, you can find my listings. Not good. So that one we're redoing. I'll put up new pictures by tomorrow, because that sucker's got to get sold. And the way those pictures look, we are not getting sold anytime soon at all. Not good. So it's a huge difference. And when you do yourself that favor, though, of doing everything right up front, right, it makes everything else work faster and smoother. You sell stuff faster is what you do. Less headache. So, okay. Does anybody have any questions today? I know, Lakeisha, I got your message. Yes, just stay on after the class, or unless you want to ask. Do you want to ask right now?
I just wanted to say, when you were talking about being you, so the lead that I received, like, they weren't local, so I went and viewed the property and did videos, and I just kind of walked through, and I just was talking over the video. And I was just being me, being silly. And I sent her the videos, and then she shared them with her husband. And she was like, by the way, my husband loves you. He was like, I just like her personality through the video. And like, I wasn't on the video. I was just showing the house and talking through. So when you posted that last night about stop worrying about if they like you, it was just, that it just hit the spot for me. So I just want to share that.
Good. For being you. The people that will gravitate towards you and appreciate you too. And sometimes when we get rejected by a client and we're like, and they didn't choose you, or they dumped you, or whatever, right? They cheated on you. I would say my clients cheat on you. They weren't meant for you anyway. If they can't appreciate who you are and how you work, they weren't your client to start with. There's no reason to be upset about it or beat yourself up about it or anything, because they have to appreciate you just like that, just like Lakeisha, right? They love you, they appreciate you, they want to stick with you. That is how you build your business, by doing that. Because then that person will come back to you. That person will refer more people to you, right? And you build a solid business of people who appreciate you, care about you, and want to use you. Not people that you made sign a contract, right? That you talked them into a 1-year buyer rep agreement so that they were stuck with you. That's not the way real business should be. They should want to work with you, shouldn't force them to. Thanks for saying nice things, guys. Anybody else have any questions? Classes on commercial real estate, Diane's asking. Diane, do you want to unmute and ask me specifically what about commercial real estate?
Yes, thank you. I just want to know if you can refer me to any classes on real estate, any websites that could give me tutorials on commercial real estate that you might recommend.
Okay, so McKissick is the place I go to for all my online classes when I have to get CE credits. I would search out for some CE credit classes on commercial real estate.
Okay.
That's where I would start. So are you trying to break into the commercial real estate space, or are you already in it and you're like panicking?
Yes, I'm trying to break into it.
Okay, it is a whole nother ballgame. It is a whole nother ballgame. So I would suggest use your CE courses, that you have to get anyway. Find some commercial real estate classes to take. The interesting thing about commercial real estate is, and I'm blanking, I will post in the Boost Facebook group, I will post the website where they have all the commercial postings. Because so as regular agents or residential agents, right, we do have a business commercial section in our MLS where we can be able to post commercial listings. However, there's a whole nother place where real commercial agents that do just commercial actually post their listings, and they never put them in the MLS. So if you're looking at commercial, you're going to have to look at that too. And if you pick up a listing that is commercial, you're going to want to be putting it on that other platform as well. And it's a little more expensive. You're a couple $100 a month, I believe, to be able to put a listing, and depending on like how much exposure you want and all that good stuff, you're going to want to put that commercial listing in that directory as well, because that's where all the real commercial agents find the information. But so that's where I would start.
Okay.
Commercial appraisers, if you ever run into a commercial appraiser, ask them questions. And appraisers love to share information. They love to kind of teach us, because the more we know, the easier it is for them to do their jobs. So that's one place where I found a lot of information, was actually picking the brain of the appraiser. And I would also suggest that you study, if you're trying to break into that area, you need to study even just what's in your MLS. Study what's going on with the commercial in your MLS. And kind of see, because they have a whole other like pricing structure. Sometimes if it's a building with land, or if it's just the land, it's like by the square foot. I was like, what? It's by the square foot? Because I'm actually in a commercial purchasing situation, have been for a couple of years now. And I talked to an appraiser about it, and he was talking about, I'm like, is this a good price? How do you know what the good price is? And he said, it's by the square foot. I was like, well, crap, I didn't know that, right? So do a lot of research in just watching what's going on in your market, what's pending, what's active, what sold, what they sold for, and you'll start to see some patterns for you to at least feel comfortable that if you were approached, or you wanted to approach a listing to list a commercial building, big or small, or commercial or industrial land, that you would feel a little bit more comfortable diving into it. And then just know you're going to figure out a whole lot of crap along the way, because it's a whole other thing. So does that help you?
Yes, it does. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And you can do it, by the way. You can do whatever you feel like you want to do. I mean, just do it, because there's no reason why you can't learn to do commercial just like any other person does commercial, So yeah. Awesome. That's awesome. Way to expand too. That's one thing. If you don't have if it's not a financial goal, sometimes our goals can be expanding into a different area, getting to know a different area, or breaking into that area, or expanding into commercial, right? It doesn't have to be, I made $100,000 and I want to make 200,000. Sometimes our goals, if we focus on the expansion part of things or learning something new, naturally we end up making more money. We just don't have that money pressure because we're not focusing on the money. We're focusing on bettering ourselves. And that's how we expect. That's how I've always done it. Always. My broker would say, what's your goal? Oh, you made this much money last year. What's your goal for next year? And I'd always say, I don't like to focus on the money. So I'm going to focus on moving into this area. I've now commandeered this area. Now I'm going to move to this city and I'm going to start getting more listings in this city. And then naturally make more money. But become better at the same time and not feeling pressure about money. Hate money. I mean, I love money, hate money, right? It's great.
Yeah.
But it's not the best thing to focus on because it affects our behavior when we focus on the money. It affects our behavior toward our clients and our deals that we're trying to do and even getting deals. So as much as we love it and need it, don't put your focus on that. So I already want, awesome, Luther, huh? Jackson's giving me more hints of things to watch. I need to quit watching Netflix. I'm telling you right now, I need to take my break after I get through with my seasons, make more progress, read more books. So anybody else have any questions for the day before we go? What is it? It's only 10:30. It's a fast day, huh? I haven't seen Luther. Okay. All right, next week, so next Friday, we will do the side-by-side. So I can give you an example for the listing on this one. Okay, and then what I talked to the client about, and I can talk about too, if it's helpful, how to break that news to the client, right? How to kind of approach them when you're going to walk through and tell them that they need to do something different in their house. How do we actually say those things to them? So I'll go through that next Friday. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Good weekend. I'm glad you were all here with your super cute smiling faces.
I'm excited. Thank you.
You're welcome.